My name is Salar. Hey, I'm 21 years old. I am a burn survivor, and this is my story. I got burned in Lebanon. I was 2 years old at the time of the accident. It was on Christmas. My parents were just celebrating their third anniversary, and they felt like they had just hit a milestone because it was their third anniversary. They brought 2 kids into the world, and so they decided to throw a really big party. And there were a lot of people partying, drinking, having fun, and they weren't really being cautious, I guess. They weren't really thinking about what they had put into the can, and there was still kerosene left into the can. And somebody had lit it, and the whole house went into flames. Several people were injured, several people were killed. My baby brother was one of them. My baby brother was 9 months, and I was 2 years old. The hospital wouldn't admit me because we didn't have money, and in Lebanon, to be admitted into the hospital, you have to pay. Well, I don't know if it's like that now, but it was back then. And so we didn't have any money. We didn't have a house. We didn't have anything. And so the mayor of Lebanon gave us $10,000, $5,000 for me, and $5,000 for my dad, and my brother, he already died. Once I got to the hospital, the doctors determined that I had burns on 70% of my body. They told my mom that I would only live for 24 more hours because I had severe burns, but I survived. I was put into a coma, and I was in the coma for 6 months. And I remember when I woke up from the coma, I couldn't see, I couldn't hear, I couldn't walk. I had to learn everything over again. And for a long period of time, I couldn't walk. I had trouble walking during my childhood, but I'm better now. I came to the US for more treatment and more surgeries. I've had dozens of surgeries, maybe even 100. A portion of my life was just spent at the hospital, day and night, just waking up every morning at the hospital, not being able to go out, not being able to play. And it was really hard for me. Like, I just wanted to go out, I just wanted to play and be a normal kid, but I couldn't, and it was really hard. When I left the hospital, it was worse than actually being in the hospital and being wrapped up and having like IVs everywhere, because people would stare at me and they tease me, and I was bullied, severely bullied. I didn't have hair when I first came here. I had like a little patch, so I wore a wig, and the kids would bully me. They'd take my wig off, and at recess they would push me on the basketball court. Sorry. School was hard. When I was 12, I attempted suicide for the first time. I remember I had a really hard time in school that day, and I had a therapist, and she would always tell me like things are gonna get better, but they never did. And I was 12, and it just seemed like my life was not getting any better. So I remember just sitting on the bed and thinking about my life and everything I had gone through and all the pain I had suffered, and I just wanted it to end. So I went into my mom's cabinet and I took a lot of pills. And my mom found me. She called the ambulance. After that, I was admitted into the psychiatric. The first time I was there for 3 weeks. I've attempted suicide 4 times. Well, there was a girl in high school who, for some reason, hated me. I don't know who she was, but every single time she'd see me, she'd scream as loud as she can. And I went to a really big school, 3,000 kids. Whenever she'd see me, she'd scream. And there was so many kids, so many eyes just on me, and it was so embarrassing. And once she started doing it, everyone kind of just bandwagoned, and they all started screaming. Like, every time they'd see me, they'd just scream and say all these terrible things about me. Oh, the burn girl's walking this way. Oh, they'd call me Freddie or say all these things. But one day, I had surgery in Boston, and I was gone for maybe 3 months, and it was a pretty big procedure. So when I went back to school, I had a crutch and a cast, because I had a really big skin graft and I couldn't really walk, so I had a crutch for support, and I had surgery on my arm and my hand, so I had a cast on my right hand. So when I went back to school, we had an elevator in the school. I really did not want to go back to school, but my social worker at Shriners thought it would be best for me to go back to school and socialize and just be around kids. So I went back to school. I thought things were going to get better. I thought people were going to maybe have sympathy. Maybe they wouldn't bully me because they see what I'm going through, but they didn't care. One day, the teachers would let me out of class 5 minutes early, and I was in C building. There's different buildings. I was in C building, 3rd floor, and my 3rd period class was in C building, 1st floor, and the elevator was all the way in B building, so I didn't want to walk all the way to B building just to go down 2 floors. So because I had been out like 5 minutes early, I just thought, I'm just gonna walk down the stairs. I'm gonna take my time. You know, nobody else is. There were a few kids walking up and down, but there weren't like a lot of kids walking up and down the stairs. So I thought, I'm gonna walk down the stairs. And after I had gotten to the 2nd floor, the bell had rang, and all the kids started rushing out, and I started getting nervous, and so I started walking down the stairs. I continued walking down. Some people were passing me, and as I was going down the 1st floor, I had seen a girl who, I'm sorry, I had seen her. And when I had seen her, I kind of just looked away. I thought maybe if I looked away, she wouldn't notice me. And as I was walking down the stairs, she was walking up the stairs, and she kind of nudged me, like with her arm. She nudged me, and I fell down the stairs. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get so emotional. I hated my life. I remember laying down on the floor. I thought somebody was gonna help me up, or somebody was gonna grab my crutch and help me up, or hold the door for me, and nobody did. Everybody just kept kind of walking around me. I remember, I could see in some people's faces that they wanted to help me, but I think they were just scared. I wish somebody stood up that night I went home and I attempted suicide. And I feel like if somebody had just stepped in or helped me out, at first I didn't think the psychiatric treatment was helpful, but now that I look back, I can see that it was really helpful. I'm a lot more confident now than I was. I don't let things that other people say affect me. I don't really think about suicide anymore. I've become a lot more confident now. Beauty is a concept I've struggled with, but I'm learning to love myself. I'm taking it one day at a time. I think I'm beautiful. I have a story that not many people have, and my story and my scars, they represent everything I have gone through. They represent my bravery and they represent my strength, and nobody can take that away from me.
Do you think about your brother who passed?
Yeah, I think about him almost every day. I think he is my guardian angel, and he is what keeps me going. Him, my friends, my family, my husband, and my son. I want them to know that I forgive them, but I also want them to know how hard it's been for me. I know people say it's just words, or it's not that big of a deal, but what they said really impacted me. And they're strong to not give up, and that things do get better.
Who or what keeps you inspired and keep you, strong?
You are an inspiration to me because of how far you've come, and you were able to put yourself out there for the world to see, barefaced. You're my inspiration. I want everybody to know that beauty comes from the inside, and that you shouldn't write somebody off or judge them by the way they look. And if you see somebody going through a hard time, you should help them. Sometimes it really just takes a friend to make a difference. Some people just need somebody to talk to, or to just listen, to be there. Sometimes that's all you need. I am surrounded by love and happiness. I, Solara, am a survivor.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if it did inspire you in any ways, let me know in the comments down below. But I really wanted to come here quickly to ask you guys for a huge favor. I have this platform and I honestly want to use it to help other people. If I cannot give something personally from a huge gift from my pocket, I know I have this platform and I know you guys can do it. So I was talking to Solara, and she was telling me a lot about what is going on at home. Her dad has been off of work for about 4 years now. He's gotten heart surgery, and recently he actually got his leg amputated. So there's so much going on at home. Her and her husband are working hard to try to pay bills and stuff like that, and she also wanted to get laser treatment, but of course there's no funds for that. So I thought, why not set up a GoFundMe account to help with that. And I would need you guys' help. If you can donate anything, I would greatly appreciate it, and so would she and her family. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave a direct link to the GoFundMe page in the description bar down below. You can donate anything. If you can't donate anything, I would really appreciate it if you can just share the video with your family and friends. But yeah, so this is my way and basically our way of paying forward. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to always be your own kind of beautiful. Bye.